in my experience, golfers make a real big flaw when they're warming up before they play practice. The purpose of a warm-up is not just about getting the body prepared, it's also about getting the mind and your skills prepared for competing. What we want to be doing is integrating these two factors. So I'm going to go through a warm-up routine that prepares you physically, technically, skillfully, and hopefully mentally. So this becomes a routine that you can somewhat alter yourself following this as a guideline and start to integrate this before you play or practice on a consistent basis and really make it part of your golfing routine. To begin, always start with your highest wedges, lob wedge, sand wedge, probably even as low as a gap wedge. You're going to just simply take 5 balls. I'm going to recommend the amount of balls to hit, but you can either lower that or higher that depending on how long you want your warm-up routine to take. Because you're pitching and you're going to just do soft pitches as we're short distance, we're not going to be moving the body fast. It's not about high energy or high speed. So it's very much about getting some feel going early, just get some rhythm and some timing, and keep it as simple as that. So for me, we're just going to keep that nice and simple. Choose a target, choose your club, focus on a simple strike, and keep it basic. 5 balls, and then we're going to go into a first exercise. Then you're going to go into a warm-up exercise. So I recommend either following my dynamic bodyweight warm-up or the resistance routine warm-up, and always start with exercise 1. Think about this logically. You started with some soft, smooth pitches, no speed, low energy. We're then going to go into the first warm-up exercise, which is typically going to be lower body and lower energy, and we're going to work our way through. So it's completely up to you what exercise you choose here, but keep it consistent and keep it a part of a routine. We're then going to move on to some longer pitches or some shorter irons or a mixture of the two. As you can see, we're just going to slowly move into the bag. Again, only need 5 balls for this. Long pitches, so kind of a pitching wedge or even a little knockdown 9-iron. The focus and the objective is keeping the target, not kind of going full swings, not trying to go all out power. It's all about just finding some tempo, finding some rhythm, finding the strike and keeping it simple. So that's only about 80% power for me, just trying to build up through the bag in a structured routine. From there, you're going to then move into another exercise, part of your structure. We're then going to move on to mid-irons and longer irons. This time, the focus will be on a typical stock shot full swing, where we're going to be looking at kind of ball flight that you traditionally play, just zoning in on that. I'd also recommend varying the targets, so maybe 2 balls at the same target, then changing. So something from a 6 to a 9-iron or 8-iron, let's say. This would be typically going through your pre-shot routine, so picking your target out, going into your proper routine, full swing. And just assessing, like you would if it was a proper golf shot on a proper course, you're taking your time. This isn't about kind of trying to hit lots of balls in a short fashion. This is about quality over quantity, making it part of a routine where you know how long roughly it's going to take. So probably 5 balls with more of a mid-iron and then 5 balls with your longer irons. Again, you're going to move into the next exercise, which should be gaining a little bit more intensity as we're now starting to go through longer clubs and fuller swing. Now you're going to move into your fairway woods, or if, like myself, you've got a driving iron, something you traditionally use off the tee. I'd recommend almost setting a target out on the range that's roughly a fairway width. That could be around about 30 to 40, even 50 yards, and choosing a centre line in the middle of that. Again, going through your pre-shot routine, so you're starting to relate it, you're starting to get in the mental focus of what you do out on the golf course. You're just going to see your centre line, pre-shot routine, and go through exactly as you would normally, trying to hit the centre of the fairway. With this one, you only want to hit 4 balls because it's going to be a little bit slower, and also you're going to be starting to ramp up the energy because you're closer to maximum speed with the clubs you hit. Using the same principles as your driving irons or free woods, crane the fairway, potentially a little bit longer so you have a centre line to focus on. Again, only 4 balls with this because obviously a driver's more maximum effort, more energy, and also you're going to be hitting more drives on the golf course than probably a lot of the other clubs typically. So therefore this is something we just want the pre-shot routine, focus on what we do normally, and just going on your stock effort, your stock swing, whatever that may be to you. Focus on quality over quantity again. Once you've hit your 4 drivers, we're then going to move on to 4 more at the end of the session, because as you notice, we've gone throughout the routine. This can take you anywhere from 20 minutes to an hour, depending on how many balls you want to incorporate, depending on how you want to incorporate the exercises. You should always finish your session off with maximal speed effort to make sure you've really ramped up that body movement and your energy ready to be performing. So 4 balls at the end, same thing, and then just simply imagine as if you was on a golf course where there's a little bit more room and you can just kind of really feel like you're going to send one that little bit further, a little bit harder, because there's less fear of where the ball may go. And this is just kind of a little bit of speed training just to finish off your warm-up routine. So naturally, a little bit more energy, bigger stance for me, and I'm just going to hit this a lot harder. So overall, structuring your warm-up, integrating it with a practice structure for skill, integrating it with exercises for the physical side, but also by being able to focus on targets, switch it up, not just hit full shots from the outset, you're also preparing your mind mentally ready for optimal performance. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the alert notifications for more content.